Hey everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. Uh, like I said before, this recording session was 2 hours long, so I've had to split it up into separate videos. You should only have one more video of me having to edit in the intro like this. So, with that all said, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Um, we should have enough for level 2 by the end of this.
Made it in time.
This video is an hour long. Or this is an hour long to get from character customization to ending the tutorial. Honestly, I might do a double upload for the tutorial and for the character customization and getting out of the tutorial. I really like this game. All the characters, all of the origin characters feel really good, and I like a lot of even the non-origin characters. Um, it's It'd be interesting to potentially do a playthrough of this game as each origin character if you guys feel up for it after we're done with the Dark Urge. Because I know there's a lot of unique dialogue to, or there's a lot of unique dialogue to each of the characters, and plus you get to see things from their perspective. Just because each character really does feel like the main character of their own story. Yeah, this is one of the buggiest cutscenes, honestly. Ooh, magic.
You half expected your memories to return once you were free of the Mind Flayer ship. But your past is still an aching void. If you don't find a way to remove the tadpole burrowed in your brain soon, your future will be as blank as your past. Your head whispers vengeance. You cannot wait to slice your way forth, seeking whatever wrought this tragedy upon you.
We also have a level up, but I'm not going to do that quite this second.
You drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face. You see flashes of flesh, all lumped together in a mass grave. No single image sticks out. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
So yeah. Now we can go talk to Shadowheart. keep forgetting to read my lines. Let's wake her.
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
Perhaps it was some dramatically timed divine intervention.
The divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible.
Now what?
First things first. We need supplies, shelter, and most of all, heat. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
We? You want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Alright, now that we have both our characters, let's actually level up. Easier to just do them both at once. Alright, we get a new spell. Thunderwave can be a good spell, but it requires you to be very close to the enemy. Long Strider can just be generally useful. Just because of it lasts until your next long rest, does not require concentration. So you can just burn a spell slot and everyone's just faster in combat. Or somebody, I think it's only one target. I forget if that counts as a ritual though. Bards might not be a ritual. Bards also might not be ritual casters. I forgot. Let's go with Fairy Fire, just because it provides a little bit of extra utility. See. And then we get to do Shadowheart, which I think this is just an opportunity to rearrange spells. Bless is a really good spell in difficult fights. I'm kind of tempted to drop Guiding Bolt, just because more often than not I have her in melee. Just because, like, she's a character that, yes, she's a spellcaster, but she is just as good in melee as... Actually, she's better in melee than she is at range, just because of Sacred Flames not be... The Saber Suck cantrips, like Sacred Flame, and are all kind of bad. I think Vicious Mockery is the only one that really justifies itself, at least in my opinion. We're also going to pick that up, because I use these to sort my inventory. But, yeah. Most of them, because they are reliant on your spell save DC, which it can be kind of hard to boost. But because it relies also on their saving throw rather than armor class, they just, more often than not, they feel really inconsistent. And because they feel so inconsistent, I find it's just the attack roll spells just feel so much better. And normal 5e has so much more support for attack roll spells than it does the save or suck spells. So for her, I just feel it's better for her to just be in to be in melee and just rely on her weapon, since it's a lot easier to just find a +1 weapon that she's proficient in than something to help boost her save DCs. Plus, later on, you also get access to Spirit Guardians, which in Baldur's Gate, honestly, Baldur's Gate, it's not as good as it is in 5e. Simply for, like, because jumping isn't... Because jumping is just so much more accessible. What's the shortcut for that? It's Shift-C. Okay. I'm gonna go over there, loot this guy. And then I'm going to show you a little trick I always use for this fight. I found it does not work as good on higher difficulties because... Probably because they saw people using this early in the beta, and it was like, okay, if we're gonna make a higher difficulty, we need to account for this. And so pretty much what I do is I sneak up here, and because they cannot jump up here, you can start off the combat using ranged attacks. But yeah. Because, like, I started doing this because early on really early on in development, these, like, the better be careful, one strike could be lethal, very much was the case. These used to do a lot more damage. But, and basically the idea of this is, or the basic idea is that you stand up here, you rain ranged attacks down on them. And anytime they get up here, you move to the other side of them compared to this ledge, and you shove them off. And because, like, between you and Shadowheart, which you should already have, which most of the time you'll have by this point, have her already, you should be able to shove them. Should have them pretty whittled down, and you should be able to pretty consistently just shove them off. So, and they end up having to waste their turns dashing like this one did there. And now I can move here. If I use the shove command, oh, this one's actually isn't close enough. The edge to get shoved off. That may be a problem. Okay, I'm going to walk up, hit this one. That should kill it. And then we're going to shove you off. That failed, but that is fine, because I get another turn. I should not moved into melee before just trying to kill it. And also the fun thing, this ledge is just slightly high enough to deal damage. So this is also just a valid form of dealing damage. And now you can see it got shoved off. Now it has to dash to get back up here. And now what I can do And so you can see I did not take any damage during that fight. Like I said, it does not work on higher difficulties because higher difficulty, like Tactician and higher, gives them an attack that is actually a ranged attack. So the strategy is a lot less viable. But if you wanted to do no damage run of this game, that actually would potentially, that could be a way to just deal with this fight. You do have to rely a little bit on RNG, but I think honestly, if you do a paladin character, so you have high strength and high charisma, doing strategies like that, I think it would make those sort of strategies a lot more consistent. And somehow I'm accessing that chest from down here. Gotta love weird ranges like that sometimes. I already looted that guy up there. So yeah. Let's loot that. Loot that. Get essentially our little tutorial, the lock picking. Shadowheart's guidance. Guidance, or between guidance, healing word, or between guidance and healing word, those two spells alone make Shadowheart like a must include for every party or every playthrough, at least for me. I really like her as a character, so I'm not really complaining about her being pretty much a must include for me, but it's her but just her being a cleric, having the guidance, having the healing word, just makes her so good to have on your team. That it's pretty much to the point. Actually, before I talk to Asterion, I'm actually gonna go down here and loot this. But it makes her a must include just because between those two things, guidance is so useful because it's just a free 1d4 onto every skill check you can make in the game as long as it's not against Shadowheart. And or like skill checks like that. But if you know those skill checks are coming, you actually can preemptively just cast guidance to account for those. Yeah. And I can hear Asterion yelling in the background. Yeah. There's so many. This here is like one of the little things in this game that is just like, once I found it, there's a lot of interest. To me, it feels like the developers really enjoyed building the environment of this game because there's so many just little things to explore and find. And I think it really helps like some of the atmosphere of the game.
I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Easily. Stand back.
There. Can you see it?
Oh, and failed the perception check.
Shh. Not a sound. Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours. And you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need them alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Promises, promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Not?
so tempted to do this. My strength's garbage.
Splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks did to me. Don't lie to me.
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
I forgot to fucking say my lines again. God damn it.
You're not one of them. They took you. Just the same as me. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Can't blame you. I was looking forward to seeing yours. Yeah, this is a Dark Urge exclusive dialogue, but I'm not going to be going for it. Glad to see we're all caught up now.
Indeed we are. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm in quite the state, but I think I'm Lulu.
A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms?
Yes, unfortunately. They'll turn us into mind flayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
You should travel with me. Our odds are better together.
You know, I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
As he joins your side, your mind dances with thoughts of a perfect, pretty corpse.
We got Astarion. He is going to be with us for a very short period of time, because he's cool. I've done like an evil playthrough where I pretty much have to use him. And I know you can build him to be a really good damage dealer, especially with dual wielding. But there's just characters I prefer to have in my party. And he pretty much, he's here for a very short period of time.
You approach the dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion. Compassion.
No. You should be furious, shouldn't you?
Yes, you feel hate, and you deserve to be punished for it. You should be whipped, made to bow before this creature in shame.
Geeky.
It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
Sorry, I'm not up for that sort of thing.
The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pupils, radiate malice.
I regret saying that out loud. Why do I say some of these things? Close those eyes forever.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
There's nothing else here I think that I can loot. So up this way we go.
Dead goblins over there. Worth
Yeah.
checking for
So
maybe.
the beginning of this game, you get like such a whirlwind of characters that join. Hey everyone, thank you all so much for watching the video. This should be the last episode of the Baldur's Gate 3 for this recording block that you'll have me in the outro. So I just wanted to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. I will see you all next time. Bye bye!